There's a reason you found this video now. Not last week, not next month. Now, when everything feels uncertain. You're standing at the doorway of a breakthrough, but instead of fireworks, all you see are closed doors. Instead of signs, you feel silence. Instead of progress, resistance. And yet, that's how winning begins. The greatest illusion in life isn't failure. It's the moment before success, when reality tightens its grip and whispers, "Are you sure you still believe?" That's the test. The last mirage before the victory shows itself. Neville Goddard called it the bridge of incidents, the strange series of events that seem to contradict your assumption right before it hardens into fact. Dr. Joe Dispenza calls it the quantum collapse, the moment old energy breaks apart so the new pattern can form. Different language. Same phenomenon. Right before reality rearranges itself to give you what you've been imagining, it checks your loyalty. It wants to know, will you react to what you see, or will you hold what you know? That's why things appear to get worse right before they get extraordinary. Money dries up, relationships wobble, delays multiply. It's not punishment, it's pressure testing belief, because belief without proof is the final price of creation. When you're about to win, the world won't congratulate you yet. It will tempt you to quit, so that only those who already know they've won keep walking. Pause here. Look at your life right now. Where does it feel like the walls are closing in? Where does it feel like the universe went silent? That silence is not absence. It's the sound of rearrangement. In every story of transformation, there's a scene that looks like defeat. For Neville's students, it was the empty bank account before the check. For Dispenza's followers, it was the hospital bed before spontaneous healing. For you, it might be this exact moment. Listening, searching, wondering if you made it all up. You didn't. You're watching this because your old reality is collapsing under the weight of your new identity. And collapse never feels gentle. So when it feels like the ground beneath you is shaking, remember this: it isn't the universe taking something from you. It's removing what can't survive the next version of you. That's the real reason this video found you, because you were about to mistake the test for the ending. Stay, don't move yet, because in the next few minutes, you'll see the pattern for what it is. And once you recognize it, you'll never misread the silence again. You've heard people say, "It's darkest before dawn." That's not poetry, it's physics. Every new pattern needs friction to break the old one. Think about it. The seed doesn't grow until the shell cracks. The diamond doesn't form until carbon is under unbearable pressure. And consciousness doesn't transform until your comfort zone starts collapsing. That's why every breakthrough begins disguised as a breakdown. You might feel like you're losing control, when in reality, control is the very thing that's being removed. The self that doubted, the self that begged, the self that kept looking for signs. It's being burned away so the version of you that commands reality can finally take over. That's not failure. That's precision. Neville Goddard said, "Dare to assume the feeling of your wish fulfilled and persist in that assumption, for your assumption, though denied by your senses, if persisted in, will harden into fact." That denial by the senses. That's the pressure. It's the universe showing you every reason to doubt, just to see if you've learned to stay still inside the storm. You've probably felt it before. You start affirming a new reality. Wealth, success, peace, and suddenly, life goes sideways. Bills show up. People disappear. Plans fall apart. That's not sabotage. That's reorganization. Your old world can't coexist with your new assumption. So it starts cracking, glitching, and pushing back, not to harm you, but to check if you'll abandon the new identity and run back to the old. And that's where most people fail. Not because they're unlucky, because they misread the pressure. They think, if this were really working, things would be smooth. But smooth is for maintenance. Pressure is for creation. When your reality tightens, it's proof you're close. You're not falling apart. The false version of you is. The ego panics because it's losing control of how things should look. But you, the consciousness observing it, are about to witness something bigger. proof that assumption is stronger than circumstance. So, when the test shows up, when something breaks, when a door closes, when your body tenses in doubt, recognize the pattern. This is the resistance before release. This is the trembling before the shift locks in. If you run from it, the pattern resets. If you face it, the pattern completes. If your mind whispered, "This is me," while watching, that wasn't random. That's your confirmation. Subscribe and stay in this energy. You don't subscribe to a channel. You subscribe to a frequency. If this one matched yours, it's not by accident. That's why winners, true manifestors, are calm when chaos hits. They know it's the signal. They've seen the loop enough times to recognize the storm as evidence that something new is trying to be born. You'll notice this in every field. Traders see volatility before profit. Athletes feel fatigue before peak performance. Inventors face rejection right before discovery. It's the same universal principle wearing different clothes. Reality compresses before it expands. And right now, that's happening to you. If your mind's been racing, if nothing seems to respond, if it feels like all your work is invisible, that's because it is, temporarily. The invisible always comes first. Your new reality is forming where the eyes can't yet see. In the field of assumption, the feeling of inevitability. The only thing that determines how fast it solidifies is how long you stay unmoved. Don't try to escape the tension. Use it. Because that pressure is proof that the old world no longer fits you. It's the spiritual labor pain of birth. The discomfort isn't punishment, it's contraction. You asked to expand. This is what expansion feels like. And if you can hold yourself steady here, not by pretending to be positive, but by quietly knowing this is the threshold, you'll cross it faster than you think. Every version of you that's ever manifested something extraordinary did it the same way. By refusing to interpret pressure as loss, they treated pressure as prophecy. So right now, if your life feels tight, if time feels short, if people doubt you, if results seem delayed, congratulations. That's not a warning. That's the confirmation. You're not being blocked. You're being finished. And once the universe completes that polishing, the win that's already yours will finally become visible. Here's what most people never realize. Right before reality delivers the win, it sends a mirror. Not a mirror of what you want, but a mirror of what you still fear. That mirror comes disguised as small irritations. A delayed payment, a message that never comes, an unexpected expense, someone questioning your plans when you were finally feeling certain. It's not random. It's reality saying, let's see if you still identify as the old version, or if you've stepped into the new. Every time you react in panic, defend yourself, or start doubting, you feed the mirror and it grows stronger. But the moment you recognize it for what it is, a test, not a truth, it dissolves. That's the moment the universe exhales. That's the instant where the unseen tilts in your favor. Think about it. How many times have you almost given up the week before everything broke open? How many stories have you heard that begin with, "Everything went wrong," and then suddenly, it all worked out? That pattern isn't coincidence. It's initiation. The universe only mirrors doubt once more, to see if you've learned to trust yourself more than you trust appearances. So when the mirror appears, do nothing. Don't chase. Don't fight. Don't explain. Just observe, breathe, and hold the posture of someone who knows it's already handled, because it is. And when you can hold that calm, the test completes itself. The mirror collapses, and what remains is the version of you that doesn't need proof anymore. Pause here. If that feels like where you are, if you've seen the mirror and felt that tug to give up, then this message found you at the perfect second. You don't subscribe to a channel, you subscribe to a frequency. If this one matched yours, it's not by accident. It means you're already tuning into the reality that's waiting for you. Lock it in, subscribe, and stay in this energy. Because in the next part, you'll see what happens when you stop reacting altogether, when you choose silence over struggle, and faith over noise. That's the point where reality has no choice but to fold. When the storm hits, your first instinct is to move, to fix, to explain, to prove. That instinct is the echo of the old self, the one that believed power was outside. But every time you act from panic, you teach the universe that doubt still leads. Every time you pause, breathe, and choose stillness instead, you teach reality to obey calm. Neville called this living in the end, feeling from the result, not toward it. Dr. Dispenza calls it staying coherent, matching the vibration of the outcome, no matter what data the senses report. Both mean the same thing. You hold your inner movie steady until the outer world catches up. So how do you do that when everything screams for reaction? Step 1. Anchor the observer. When emotion surges, don't fight it. Label it softly. This is the old state reacting. That single recognition moves you from actor to director. Directors don't panic when a scene gets messy. They call cut, adjust lighting, and start again. Breathe once. Feel your awareness step back from the noise. That step back is the beginning of mastery. Step 2. Choose the end. Scene, close your eyes for 2 seconds and flash the finished picture. Not how you get there. Just the moment after it's done. See the email arrive, the balance update, the handshake, the relief. Don't wish for it. Remember it. That subtle shift from hope to memory rewires the entire field. The subconscious doesn't know time, it only knows certainty. Hold that scene until the body softens. That's the signal you're inside the assumption. Step 3. Move as if you already won. Now open your eyes and keep the feeling. When you speak, speak from completion. When you walk, walk slower. Winners never rush. When you plan, plan like someone who already owns the outcome. This is not fake it till you make it. It's align until it mirrors. Reality bends to identity, not effort. So your only task is to stay congruent with who you've already become. And here's the paradox that frees you. When you no longer need results to confirm your belief, results chase you to confirm themselves. That's why your calm scares people. They can't understand how someone can be still while storms rage. But stillness isn't weakness. It's the vibration of someone who already crossed the finish line and is now watching the world catch up. Remember, your job isn't to fight the illusion. Your job is to stop rehearsing failure. Every moment spent worrying is another rehearsal for a play you no longer wish to perform. So cut the scene. Rewrite the line. Walk back on stage as the version who knows it's done. When you do, resistance loses its script. It has nothing left to act out. That's the shift. That's the moment the mirror shatters. In a minute, I'll show you what happens right after this. The unmistakable signs that your stillness has started bending reality itself. You'll see why the quiet isn't empty. It's evidence. Stay with me. When you finally stop reacting, something eerie happens. The noise of the world begins to reorganize itself around your silence. People you haven't heard from in months suddenly reach out. Opportunities you thought were gone re-emerge through different doors. Tiny coincidences start appearing. A number, a name, a phrase that mirrors what you were just thinking. It feels supernatural, but it isn't. It's physics, the external field rearranging to match your new internal state. You've stopped broadcasting panic. You're transmitting certainty. And certainty is gravity. It doesn't chase, it pulls. It doesn't plead, it declares. This is why Neville said, assume the feeling of the wish fulfilled and watch the bridges of incident carry you to it. He never said build the bridge, he said watch it. That's what stillness really is. The discipline to let the bridge appear. You'll notice it first through micro-proofs. A payment clears faster. A stranger repeats your affirmation. An idea arrives in perfect timing. Small confirmations that whisper, you're aligned. Don't dismiss them. Collect them. Because the subconscious feeds on evidence. Every time you acknowledge one proof, you anchor the state deeper. You stop being a student of manifestation and start becoming a witness of it. There's a story Neville used to tell about a woman who imagined her estranged husband returning. Weeks passed. Nothing. Then, one night she let the scene feel so real, she fell asleep inside it. The next morning, he called. Not because the words had power, but because her state had finished shifting. Reality only needed one night of stillness to catch up. That's the pattern. It's never effort. It's completion. So when your outer world starts showing tiny cracks of light, don't rush to force them open. Smile, breathe, and let the light widen on its own. That patience tells the universe, I trust the process I created. And then, the larger proofs arrive, the overdue payment, the call you stopped expecting, the random opportunity that matches what you wrote months ago. They appear so naturally that your rational mind will try to downplay them. Don't let it. Because that's the trap. Forgetting you called them in. If you can hold gratitude without surprise, you master the game. Surprise means you still thought it was unlikely. Gratitude means you recognize it as normal. Winners live in that energy. Of course it happened. It was already done. That's not arrogance. It's alignment. It's the moment your frequency locks with the timeline that was always waiting for you. Not tomorrow. Now. When you reach that stillness, you stop chasing evidence, and evidence starts chasing you. Every encounter becomes a reflection of who you've become. You no longer need to convince anyone of your vision. The world begins doing it for you. It's almost humorous how simple it is. You stopped reacting, and everything started responding. That's the proof. That's the sign that the win isn't coming. It's already underway. And now comes the final part of this message. The 48-hour challenge that turns this realization into lived reality. It's simple, but if you do it correctly, you'll never doubt manifestation again. Let's finish strong. You've made it this far for a reason. Most people click away before the revelation, but if you're still here, you've crossed the invisible line between curiosity and awareness. You no longer need to learn about manifestation. You're about to experience it. Because knowing the truth isn't enough. You have to verify it in your own life. And the test is beautifully simple. The 48-hour calm test. For the next 48 hours, do nothing but observe, not passive waiting. Conscious calm. 1. When something doesn't go your way, don't react. Whisper inside, I see the test, and I choose stillness. Then breathe once, slow, through the nose, and continue as if it's already resolved. 2. Notice every coincidence, message, or subtle alignment that shows up. Write them down. They may be tiny, an email, a phrase, a repeating number, but those are your first ripples. Acknowledging them expands them. 3. Before sleep, replay your day as if it all unfolded perfectly. Don't fix anything. Just remember it ending well. That revision locks your frequency into completion. Do this for 48 hours. 2 days of calm command. No forcing, no checking, no asking. And watch how quickly reality bends to fill the silence you hold. Because silence is not empty. It's instruction. Every second you refuse to react, you're sending one clear signal into the field. I trust what's already mine. You'll feel it before you see it. A lightness in the body, a certainty that doesn't need confirmation. That's the moment your new reality begins materializing. And here's the secret most never realize. It never takes long. It only takes alignment. When you hold alignment for 48 hours straight, the outer world has no choice but to sync with the frequency of peace you're emitting. Money, calls, messages, ideas, they'll start appearing in ways too precise to ignore. You'll laugh at how fast it happens, and that laughter will be the sound of the old timeline collapsing. Remember, reality doesn't reward effort, it rewards identity. And you've already become the version that wins. This isn't positive thinking. This is physics wearing a spiritual mask. Your attention is energy. Your assumption is the mold. Hold both steady, and the universe has only one option: to copy you. So from this moment forward, stop asking when. The question itself belongs to the version of you that still doubts. Instead, start observing how fast soon becomes now. If you truly understood how close you are, you'd stop counting the hours and start watching the evidence. Because every breath spent in calm command shortens the distance between thought and thing. That's why this video found you. You're not starting a journey. You're finishing one. You've done the work. You've survived the silence. You've passed the tests. Now reality is simply rearranging itself to deliver the version of life you've already chosen. So here's your final reminder. When resistance appears, smile. When nothing happens, rest. When fear whispers, breathe slower. Those moments used to mean delay. Now they mean delivery. Because the universe only tests those who are about to receive. And if these words resonated, if something inside you recognized its own reflection here, remember, you don't subscribe to a channel, you subscribe to a frequency. If this one matched yours, it's not by accident. It means you're already aligning with the reality that's calling your name. Lock it in, subscribe, and stay in this energy. Then comment below your declaration: I am a natural winner. I always receive. Not as a wish, but as a record. Because the moment you write it, you anchor this timeline even deeper. So take your next 48 hours as proof, not practice. Stay silent, stay steady, and let the bridge of incidents appear. When the evidence shows up, and it will, don't be surprised. Be grateful. Because this time, you'll know exactly what it means. You didn't manifest the win, you remembered it. And from this point on, everything is simply catching up. I hope you enjoyed this video. See you in the next one.